Mike Farrell, Rivals.com at the Under Armour All-America Future 50 here with Asante Samuel, one of the top prospects in the class of 2018, with a billion offers, you know, sort of trying to narrow it down. Obviously, it's still very early for you, but you did mention you had 5 schools sort of standing out. So which 5 are they?
FSU, Miami, Ohio State, Auburn, Clemson.
All right, so let's start in this region here first. You know, break those down for me a little bit. Just give me like 2 sentences, a Twitter version of what you like about each of those programs.
Well, basically the tradition, what they bring to the table for the recruiting wise, they always recruit the best, and you're gonna play against the best in practice. That's what really matters to me, and it's close to home. Some of them.
Yeah, so let's talk about, you know, far away from home. You know, you mentioned you might take visits up north. So tell me about Ohio State, what the interest level is there. Do you know people up there?
Yeah, I have a couple old teammates like Nick Bosa, Damon Arnett. I played against Benjamin Victor one time, so I have a couple Florida ties up there.
And obviously, I would imagine Ohio State and all those guys they put in the NFL last year, is that part of the attraction?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so Auburn and Clemson, let's talk about them before we get back in state. Let's talk about what you like about Auburn and what you like about Clemson.
Well, Auburn's always been a school that I always like, because the coaching staff, they always show love, and they always been there since like 9th grade. And Clemson, they're in the running for the title game every year, so why not play in big stages?
So you got Florida State and Miami in state right now. Tell me a little bit about, I've heard Florida State a lot with you. Let's talk about Miami first and then Florida State.
Miami changed the culture around a lot, and it's going good for them. So, and it's getting more players that they need. And you know, Al been recruiting me a lot, so they always going to be in mind.
And what about Florida State?
Florida State, that's my dream school. I've been liking it since I was a kid. Just how everybody plays out there, it's like a family out there.
Now, you mentioned Miami changing the culture a little bit. They used to get all the South Florida kids. That was like, 15 years ago. Do a lot of the South Florida kids talk about Miami a little bit more now that Mark Richt has taken over?
Definitely. It's a lot of people that's getting on board what he's doing with the program, and that's good for him. So we'll see next year how it goes.
And what's the reputation of Florida State as far as, recruiting in-state? They've obviously had the highest-ranked classes over the last few years in-state. Do kids down south look at that as an opportunity to win a national championship?
Yeah, and they just want to get more exposure saying like Miami doesn't play on TV every week, but FSU plays on TV basically every week. So it's little things like that.
All right. And you said you're going to take us some visits this spring. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to go to basically the top 5, FSU, Michigan, Ohio State, Clemson, and Auburn.
All right. So you mentioned Michigan in there because they weren't in your top 5, but I know they're right on the cusp. Jim Harbaugh, obviously he practiced down in Tampa. He's recruiting Florida hard. Do you know any guys up there?
I know a couple, but we're not like really close, but I know a couple. And yeah, he's changing the program around too. I think, what was their record last year?
Well, last year they did pretty well, but this year they took it to the next level. Obviously, we're just very close to the playoff. So is that something you pay attention to, like how close they are to the playoff or how close they are to the national championship?
Yeah, because I go to St. Thomas. We play big games basically every week, and everybody want to beat us. So I need competition and big stages. That makes me perform better.
All right. And how long do you want to wait to make a decision? Are you going to do it in the spring or are you going to wait till the end?
As of right now, I'm thinking before my senior season.
All right. Last question. Top 2. This is the big question.
Top 2 right now, FSU, Ohio State.
All right. And no leader?
No leader.
See, that was a stupid question. I should say who's your leader, but I didn't. So, all right, we got top 2. Thank you very much.